Aloha! My name is Jonathan, and I'm going to be doing an unboxing. Just got this package yesterday. I'm very excited. Whoa. Well, it is packed full of little black paper shreds. So let's go digging. Oh my goodness. I'm not sure what we're going to do with all this. Oh my. Ooh. Let's see, is there anything else in here? I doubt there's anything else in here, but no, that's it. You know what? I should save this so that my son and I can do art projects. Oh my god, it's getting everywhere though. So, I ordered this. I wasn't expecting this till June, but it came yesterday, and I'm excited to dig in. For those of you who don't know, this is the True Black Tarot. Ooh, pretty. I love that iridescent cover. And it's actually all the way around. And it is magnetic. And then we have the little book. Also has that little iridescent sheen to it. Oh, very cool. So each write-up has a silhouette, black silhouette of the card, and then a write-up. Looks like each major gets 2 pages. Let's jump over here. And then each of the minors gets 1 page each. And let's see. Total of 100. The last page is 111, and then there's one last, the end. Let me just see, I don't see any, yeah, no, it's just the write-ups of the cards. I don't see any extras, like, well, there's a little intro, but there's no spreads or anything in there, which is fine, you know. So the cards themselves are wrapped in these same tissue paper that the whole thing is wrapped in. So this is the title card. It's True Black, finely crafted artifacts. You know what? I think this deck is plastic. Pretty sure this deck is plastic, which is fine with me. It's my first. I'm pretty sure it's my first plastic deck. Yeah, I don't think I have anything else that's plastic, but here we go. Wow, this is amazing. So here's the backs. Definitely feel, I mean, it's not like that rose petal that I get with the Children of Litha, but it's, I mean, it's close, pretty close. Here's the Fool. I love that flash of iridescence in the card. Pretty amazing images, actually. The Magician. You can see it written down here. That iridescent. I mean, it's black on black, so you don't see it unless, like, you don't, if it's just, I mean, yeah, with the light you see it, but if you don't have the light on it, it's kind of hard to read. High Priestess. I love that iridescent touch each card has. Gives the image more depth. The Empress. I love that like beehive kind of vibe in the background. The Emperor. I'm going to try and turn it so you guys see a little of that iridescence. The Hierophant. It's a very interesting image. All these are very, it's like when I first ordered this, I didn't think there was going to be much to the deck, but there's actually a lot more depth to each image than I was expecting. Especially with those shimmers in the background, right? This is the Lovers. Here we have the Chariot. Strength. That's an amazing image. I actually really like that Strength card because it's not the typical lion. There's just a ginormous snake. The Hermit. I love that they changed the Wheel of Fortune into Destiny. That is a little eerie image though, so some people who don't like the bizarreness of things, like bizarre art, like Geiger and that kind of stuff, might not like this, but you know, Destiny is four-armed, and like, the head is, I don't know, it looks like it's like a tunnel in the head. I don't know. It's kind of hard to describe that image. Here is Justice. There is actually way more detail to the face. Let me see if I can get a little closer for you. There you go. It's just that, I guess it's a moon in the background. When it's far away, it's kind of, you can't really see the details, but as you can see, there is major details in there. These are definitely a lot more impressive in person. So, the Hanged Man. Death. Temperance. I love that yin yang above her head. Balance. Alchemy. Ooh, interesting devil. So here's the devil. Huh. Tower. I love that fox. And then instead of a tower crumbling, it's this person themselves crumbling. That's an interesting take on it. The star. I love the whirl of stars above her head. Oh, that's an interesting. So here in the moon, she's reaching down, but then in the moon itself, you see her hand reaching down. So that's an interesting image. So you're seeing her and you're in her little dish at the same time. Illusion, right? Here's the sun. There's that iridescent sun behind her. Again, if I zoom in, you can actually see there's lots of detail. Sorry for shaking. But far away, it's like the white on the black makes it seem like there's not as much detail. But these actually have some incredible detail. I just don't know how well the detail gets captured on camera. Here we have Judgment. See again, if I hold it up pretty close, there's a lot more detail to see. Like Judgment's bleeding from the side, has a crown of thorns, it looks like. And here is the world. Again, if I hold it up close, you can actually see her face. It's just like I said, the white figure on the black background. Like it's confusing the camera. Here we have I believe it's wands, Ace of Wands. It just says Ace. I was a little confused because it's a pen, and I was thinking, does it mean the pen is mightier than the sword? But I'm pretty sure it's the Ace of Wands. Let me check that book real quick. Yeah, it is. Okay. Oh, yeah, the next one would have made it obvious if I just looked down. There we have the two. See, makes it obvious. There's the globe and the two wands. Looks like all the figures were in the majors. So here's oh, that's an interesting image. Three of Wands is a seabird diving deep for a fish. And then Four of Wands is, I almost want to say it's a phoenix of some kind, but celebration. Here we have the Five of Wands. Looks like you got a couple spears and sticks breaking each other in the center. It looks like a wizard's staff almost. Here we have the Six of Wands. Seven. Eight. Nine. Wolf is definitely in guarding his woods. Oh, this is an amazing image for Ten of Wands. Looks like it's a stag beetle with a bunch of twigs and another stag beetle piled on top of his back. Okay, courts also have figures in them. There is the Page of Wands. I love that fiery touch to it. And like I said, it's that white on black that makes it hard to see, but there is a lot of detail in the figure. The knight. Queen. It's interesting, that image. That's an amazing deck. Here is the king. As you can see, there's lots of really good detail. If I pull it back too much, though, well, I guess you can still kind of see it. But some of the figures, it just, like, it bleaches out their face. Here we have Ace of Cups. That's a great Two of Cups. Two of Cups, two goldfish jumping out to meet each other. I'm assuming that Eros' arrow that's been broken. Eros, Cupid, same thing. Here we have Three of Cups. The minors don't have as much of that iridescence. It's pretty much just the number at the bottom. Four of Cups. I love that it's a weeping willow. Five of Cups. Here we have one cup being shattered. There's a couple more broken ones, but there is still a whole one there. So. Oh. Okay. So Six of Cups. I was trying to figure out what was in the cups, but there's one falling there. It's just little golden candies. Oh, that's amazing. I love the Seven of Cups. So each one has a little creature in the cup, and there's the image of a castle in the background. Uh-huh. Huh. So here we have the Eight of Cups, and there's a little cuttlefish. Nine of Cups. I love that fox there with her riches. And then here we have the Ten of Cups. It's interesting, a couple of the cups, I don't know if you can see, are cracked. Here we have Page of Cups. The thing I find interesting is that he's holding a bunny, and instead of the fish being in the cup itself, there's two fish floating over his head. Her. I think that's a woman. Here we have the Knight of Cups. Not quite sure what's going on with this head there. It's kind of hard to see, but you can actually see a nose and a mouth under that mask. Here we have the Queen of Cups. I love the white and the black fish swimming around her. Balanced emotions, right? Nine, I don't see any fish on that one. But, oh, that's an amazing image. So here's the King of Cups. Looks like he's reclining in a shell. And there's a squid behind him with some fish. Here we have the Ace of Swords. I notice most things are either golden or silver. So here we have the Two of Swords. It looks like a letter of some kind. And then the swords themselves look like they're cracking apart. Oh wow. So the Three of Swords, did they actually use the anatomically correct heart? I love this like spray of light coming down. Interesting. So the Four of Swords, it looks like obsidian knives, or arrowheads even, for some of the smaller ones. Five of Swords, all Khopesh. And then there's the one that's golden and the others are silver and falling apart. Here we have the Six of Swords. I don't know if you can see, but down there at the bottom we actually see boats floating off into the distance. So there is some RWS symbolism in these cards, but it's, I don't know, minimalistic, I guess you'd say. Here's the Seven. Watch out, little rat. And then I can see the Six are like getting shoved through the curtain. So still got that vibe of danger and thievery. Interesting. So this Eight of Swords looks like that one sword is red hot. And it's like the sword is the figure in the middle. So this one might be a little much for some people. So if you don't like animal cruelty, look away. Here we have the Nine of Swords. And it's thrust through a rabbit, but instead of blood, there's red rose petals streaming out. So, I mean, it's a very nightmarish image. So I get why they would, I kind of get what they would do that for. Okay. And here's another warning for you. Another one with impaled animals. This one is the Ten of Swords. It looks like there's a bunch of birds impaled, but then there's one at the top that looks like it's being rebirthed, or yeah, I'm not quite sure. I have to look up in the book what they meant by that. Here we have the page. Looks like it's a little too easy to get fingerprints on this. Oh well. Here we have the Knight. Okay, I really need to stop touching the face. Here is Queen. Oh, interesting. So this sword is actually thrust through her palm and her blood is golden. That's a very interesting image. I say I'm going to have to handle these cards very delicately because it seems like every time I touch it I'm leaving fingerprints that, and my hands are clean, which is crazy. So it must be that matte finish just picks up every little bit of oil or something. So here is the King. That's an interesting detail, the hole in the heart. Here is the Ace of Pentacles. love this image. The Two of Pentacles. We have a little ferret that's balanced just right, and if anything moves, everything is going to come tumbling down. Here we have the Three of Pentacles. Interesting that they're all dripping water, and the middle one is like an actual waterfall watering the plant. Oh, it's an oak. Oh, I see. One's water, one's sand, and one is seeds. Interesting image. These images are amazing. I mean, they're not typical tarot images, but they're still very expressive. Here we have the Four. Butterflies were trying to break out. Or, oh no, never mind. For some reason I thought it was like a window breaking, but no, what it is butterflies trapped in a spider web. Here is the Five of Pentacles. Purse is ripping open, and the coins that are flying out are shattering. It's a potent version of that Five there. Here we have the Six. These are definitely, like, the more you look, the more detail there is, so I can see I'm gonna have to like really sit down. These are like almost like cards you'd want to meditate on. So here's the 7. Lucky number 7. Eight. I love how they, for industry and apprenticeship, they have a little hammer. Everything's kind of smoking a little, probably because they just forged things. Here we have the 9. Serval cat with all kinds of birdies. Oh, 2 birds and a rat. Or mouse. This is a great 10 of Pentacles. I love this image. Here we have 10 of Pentacles with the elephant. Page of Pentacles. Again, if you go in close, you can actually see there's quite a lot of detail in the face and body. Oh wow, that's an interesting image there. So here's the Knight of Pentacles. And I love this image. That helmet is crazy. But I love that they're reading a book. Queen of Pentacles. Again, like I said, if you zoom in pretty close, you can actually get pretty amazing detail in there. Sorry it's a little shaky when I hold it close, but I have to reach my arm out. And then here we have the King of Pentacles. Lots of amazing detail. It's definitely one of those decks you like sit and you could sit and just see all kinds of stuff the longer you look at it. And it looks like there's an extra card to the deck. It's not numbered or anything, but that's a crazy image. So it's, how do you pronounce that? Anant? Anant. I think it's Anant. Anant. If you know how to pronounce that properly, let me know. I love how the iridescent kind of creates this star field. And then it's, the baby's umbilical cord becomes the snake. So, I don't know, it's Ouroboros actually. So it's kind of like, I don't know, I want to say it's a representation of reincarnation or how we're all connected, something like that. Actually, let me see, is there even anything written up in here about it? Wait, see. Anant, here it is. Endless, infinite, exempt, cyclical. Anant refers to the never-ending, eternal, and exempt. While all other temporal beings enter existence, grow, and then die, Anant exists outside of these constraints and rules. It has been and always will be a core concept shared by other world religions. Laying in the center of this card is a fetus, the intermediary between the ending and beginning of the major arcana, representing the cyclical nature of eternity. I'll hold this up a little more. Around it coils the snake known in Sanskrit texts as Anant Shisha, usually depicted with 5, 7, or 1,000 heads. Sisha, a term used to identify the remainder in mathematics, is that which exists when all else ceases. In Hinduism, Shisha was given the task of supporting the world atop himself, which he does until this day. When the end of the universe draws near, Anant will manifest 11 Rudras, or storm gods, to bring about the end of the universe so that a new one may take its place. Additional artwork. In the background is speckled with an endless field of stars, with the exception of the space occupied by the fetus and Sisha. The empty field is Bernard 68, a dark nebula or molecular cloud near the constellation Ophiuchus. Though Bernard 68 appears to the naked eye as a black void, it is dark only due to the high concentration of cosmic dust, the material that will eventually coalesce into stars. This dust is so thick that it obscures visible light attempting to penetrate the cloud, though infrared photography reveals about 1,000 stars being blocked by the nebula. Barnard 68 is thought to be nearing gravitational collapse, a process which will accumulate in a new star within 200,000 years. So wow, that's interesting. I'm not sure how that would translate to a reading. So yeah, does it say anything else about how that would? That's pretty much it. So yeah, it's interesting. The eternal, basically. So the endless, the exempt, the infinite, the cyclical. So those things that are endless and cycle and cycle and cycle. So hope you enjoyed my walkthrough, and I look forward to the next one. Until next time, aloha!